Nobody wants to say it out loud, but everyone in that garage is thinking it. 5 wins, 9 races, and the number that's been haunting NASCAR for 39 years is now sitting in Tyler Reddick's hands like it belongs there. The last man to do this was Dale Earnhardt. 1,987. That's not a comparison. That's a warning sign. Because when one team starts winning at a pace that defies the entire era they're racing in, people stop celebrating and start asking questions. Dark ones. But before we even get there, what happened at Kansas Speedway was something else entirely. Something that almost nobody saw coming. And honestly, the race itself might be the least important part of this story. Stay with me, because this gets uncomfortable fast. Reddick grabs the pole, edges out Denny Hamlin by less than 0.02 of a second. That's barely the width of a fingernail. Before the green flag even drops, you can already feel it. These two are not going to play nice today. And they don't. Immediate contact. Side by side, door to door, the kind of early tension that tells you this race is going to take something from someone before it's over. Hamlin takes control. And when Hamlin controls a race, he doesn't let it go. Stage 1 is basically his. He's leading almost every lap, looking like a man who has already written the story in his head and just needs the checkered flag to confirm it. Then Larson enters. Kyle Larson, who doesn't care about anyone's story, surges forward on a restart and starts rewriting Kansas Speedway history, surpassing Kevin Harvick for most laps led at the track. Meanwhile, Reddick brushes the wall. His steering goes off-center. And at that point, looking at the leaderboard, looking at the damage, looking at Hamlin's pace, it genuinely looks like the run is over. This is where things take a turn. Because what happens next is the kind of moment that makes you question whether you're watching a sport or a movie. With 10 laps to go, Reddick claws his way back to the front. He takes the lead. The radio goes quiet. The crowd holds its breath. And then, with exactly 2 laps left, the car dies. Not slows down, dies. You can hear the panic in the radio. You can see Michael Jordan literally holding his head in his hands on pit road like he's watching someone else's dream collapse in real time. Reddick switches to the reserve fuel system. Hamlin rockets past. And just like that, it's done. Hamlin is leading. The race is over. The story is written. Except it isn't. Cody Ware running dead last, multiple laps down, completely irrelevant to the outcome of this race, spins his car. Caution flag. Overtime. Everything resets. And the collective reaction across the entire NASCAR world is split perfectly in half. Half of them are screaming. The other half can't believe what they're watching. Hamlin restarts on the inside. Larson right behind him. Reddick lurking. Green flag drops, and it is instant mayhem. Larson dives low. Hamlin gets caught in traffic. Reddick finds a lane that probably shouldn't exist, squeezes through it, and by the white flag, Larson is leading with Reddick breathing down his neck on the outside. 1 corner left. The outside lane opens a fraction of an inch. Reddick gets a run, goes low, and wins the race. From running out of fuel with 2 laps to go to winning the race, that doesn't happen in NASCAR. That's not how this sport works. And yet it just did. Michael Jordan comes completely unglued on pit road. Pure energy, pure disbelief. And he's celebrating right next to the guy who just lost his business partner, Denny Hamlin, who led 131 laps, controlled the entire race, and has 0 to show for it. Again, because this is the 2nd straight year this has happened to Hamlin at Kansas, across 2 races at this track, he has led nearly 300 combined laps. 300 laps, and he has walked away with nothing both times. That kind of loss doesn't just sting. That kind of loss rewires how you think about racing. After the race, Hamlin didn't hide it. He was direct, frustrated, And you can't blame him, because the way it ended a spin from a car that had no business deciding the outcome of a championship race, that's the kind of thing that makes even the most composed drivers start looking at the ceiling at 2 a.m. And that's not even the craziest part of what's happening right now. Because while the racing world is still processing Kansas, there's a completely different conversation taking shape. Not on the broadcast, not in the post-race press conference. It's happening in the garage, on social media, in the kind of quiet corners where people say things they won't say on camera. Go back to 2024. 23XI, Racing Reddick's team, co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, filed a major antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR. It was brutal, messy, public. It rattled the entire sport and forced a settlement that changed how certain teams are structured and funded going forward. Now it's 2026. And 23XI isn't just back. They're annihilating everyone. Daytona, Atlanta, COTA, Darlington, Kansas. Win after win after win after win after win in 9 races at a rate that hasn't been seen in nearly 4 decades. And the question that keeps coming up, the one nobody wants to be the first to say with their full name attached, is whether this kind of dominance is actually achievable in modern NASCAR without something being off somewhere. Other drivers are starting to hint at it. Brad Keselowski, after going wheel to wheel with Reddick earlier this season, said he threw absolutely everything at him and still couldn't match the pace when the race actually mattered. Now, Keselowski is not a slow driver. He's not making excuses. He's one of the most calculating people in the sport. When he says that, people listen, and people start wondering. The questions aren't about one thing, they're about everything. Cornering speed, straight line pace, tire wear over long runs, the consistency across completely different track types. Super speedway to road course to short track to intermediate. Every single discipline. And 23XI just keeps winning them all. But nobody is talking about this on record, because there's a very important fact sitting underneath all of it. There have been 0 failed inspections, 0 penalties, 0 official investigations. Nothing. Every check, every test, everything that NASCAR can publicly point to, it all comes back clean. So officially, none of this is real. It's just talk. Just frustrated competitors and keyboard theories and people who can't accept that one team figured something out. And maybe that's all it is. Genuinely. Because there's another explanation. One that's actually pretty compelling if you let yourself consider it. This team spent most of 2024 fighting for its survival. Legally, financially, existentially. There was a real possibility that 23XI Racing wouldn't be here in 2026. Now they are. And they have security, resources, clarity, a foundation. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes that kind of stability unlocks performance in ways that are completely legitimate and still feel almost impossible to explain from the outside. And then there's the simplest answer of all. Tyler Reddick might just be the best driver in NASCAR right now, and he might be in the best equipment right now. And those two things at the same time can produce results that look suspicious purely because they are extraordinary. But here's what's true regardless of which explanation you believe. In a sport built on close competition, parity rules, and a system designed specifically to prevent one team from running away from everyone else, one team is running away from everyone else. And we're only 9 races in. If this pace continues, the quiet questions won't stay quiet. The careful hinting won't stay careful. Someone with real authority in the sport is going to have to say something. And when that moment comes, if it comes, this season is going to look very different in the rearview mirror than it does right now.